Welcome to another episode of the Healing for the Soul podcast. I'm your host, Heather, and today we will be talking about practical ways to understand how we are always manifesting and how we have more power over our experience than we may even realize. The minute we cross the line and place definite borders around our concepts is the minute we begin to create the energy of dogma, and the flow is again blocked. Let's break this down. Definite borders represent moments of claiming things to be as always or never. These borders can be limiting without the habit of pure awareness being hardwired into our minds. Dogma energy is when a person or a group of people are laying down principles as unquestionably true, and it is the way and this way only. This begins to place shoulds and shouldn'ts onto our experience, which can only attract obstacles and challenges into our lives. If we program ourselves based on religious, political, or societal dogma, the internal environment of our minds will be made up of what we believe we are allowed or not allowed to do. For example, one health expert says no carbs or sugar. One says no meat or dairy. One says moderation and balance. And at the same time, all of them can be healthy, all of them can be thriving. What if this means that it is not the eating lifestyles that make the difference? What if everything we experience is happening simply because we believe it will? If we believe in a method, practice the method, and master the method, and we are nurturing the thoughts that this method is working amazing for me, do you think that it's the method or the belief in the method? I used to say things like, I'll gain 10 pounds just from looking at that donut. I used to ingrain it into my mind that I have a terrible metabolism. I have to starve myself or restrict foods in order to be healthy. All this did was cause me to overthink everything I was doing or not doing, was eating or not eating. And I want to take a moment to disclaim that I'm in no way saying that the methods don't matter, because they 100% do. It does matter what we put into our body. But if we can first commit to making what we are feeding our minds better and better, and commit to building deeper and deeper awareness, it becomes almost impossible to continue to do any external habit that is no longer serving you. So it begs the question, if you could only focus on changing one habit for the next 30 days, that would allow every other habit you may have around health, money, love, and career that isn't serving you to dissolve and dissipate, wouldn't you at least give it a shot? If over the next 30 days, all you did was focus on building your relationship to the source of your beating heart, what do you think might be the benefit of doing it? The most common benefit that comes quickly might feel like an out-of-body experience, where you're able to see every emotional trigger that is ultimately taking you out of homeostasis, or in other words, your internal, emotional, and mental stability or equilibrium. When you begin to become aware of those triggers, you will then be able to figure out exactly what is creating barriers, preventing you from living in your heaven on earth within. The benefit of this is that your capacity for awareness begins to increase more and more each day. As your awareness of the blocks, illusions, and patterns that are creating drama, chaos, stress, and lack of successful manifestations will increase, along with your awareness of how to overcome it. From my experience, these illusions can be rather tough to break on your own in the beginning. Thankfully, over the years, I've had many mentors here on earth help me to identify mine, which allowed me to shift quickly. Today, I see that all of the people here on earth that have supported me were divinely placed by the superconscious just for me in perfect ways. For every man is a golden link in the divine plan. Even the moments when on the surface, it didn't seem like the person or experience was helping me, I have yet to cross one I can't look back on today and see the blessing within the hard time. What I mean by this is that God, source, creator, or whatever you might refer to it as, has shown me how to be curious about everything that is going on, be it something creating good reactions or bad ones. Curiosity is the key to open the door into a world of new, fantastic points of view. Small perspective shifts are the key to massive personal transformation. An example of a small perspective shift that has altered my reality is the idea that what most of us have deemed to be our inner critic is actually just the opposite. My inner critic would tend to show up when I'm wanting to do something but keep forgetting to do it. For a long time, it would trigger me when I would hear a voice in my head reminding me to do the thing I've been wanting to do or try. I would think that the voice was trying to tell me how much I sucked because I forgot to do it again. But then, with support from Spirit and my mentor, I was able to shift into the understanding that this voice only felt like an inner critic because of my judgments towards it. What if this voice isn't my inner critic trying to shame me? What if instead it is the voice of Source or Spirit reminding me of the experience I want to have to give me an opportunity to break out of my pattern and make a new decision? If that voice were to stop coming up, reminding me of the person I'm craving to become, I would lose my opportunities for evolution. What's worse is if I don't change my decision of seeing that voice as my enemy, it will only continue to spark survival and stress to be triggered, which is a one-way ticket to disease and struggle. So, what if every thought that comes up to remind you of the version of your perfect world was an opportunity to break free from your mundane routines of what you have programmed yourself to believe you need to be doing, and you did something different? Einstein says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing each day and expecting different results. If you want a different life, you must first look for ways to do something different. If you want to be able to do something different, you must first think differently. That is why small perspective shifts make massive change. If you can see your inner dialogue differently, it will trigger different emotional chemicals, which will lead to new actions being taken and result in a new reality beginning to form. Do this 1% more than you did yesterday for the next 30 days, you create a habit of adaptation and expansion. Do this every day for 90 days, you create a lifestyle of ascension, awareness, and enlightenment. And inevitably, it becomes your most natural way of being without even having to think about it. Within these days, you will be able to watch the transformation before your very eyes, and not only yourself, but the world around you. Once your internal world matches the frequency of your visions of your perfect health, wealth, love, and joy, those things will have no choice but to be magnetized to you and be fulfilled. This transition process can be difficult or easy, and it all depends on how much attention you commit to paying to your soul and your inner self. This is all I have to share with you for today, but the story will continue in upcoming episodes. As always, I hope you are all getting value from spending your time with me here. And if you have any questions or curiosities, I would love to hear them via email or in the comments for me to dive into future episodes. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to share it with others that you think may benefit, and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming talks. Remember that all things become possible through Source consciousness. When directly channeling Source, the perfect plan that holds the path of least resistance will be shown to you, and everything you ever hoped could be possible becomes available to you. Until next time, sending light and love to you all.